Hey, beautiful. Welcome to your collective tarot reading and oracle message for the Saturn retrograde. We're going to be looking at themes and intuitive guidance for Saturn retrograde. And this could apply to any Saturn retrograde period, past or future. Current or future. So if you're watching this 3 years from now and Saturn is retrograde, there might still be messages in this video for you. And this applies to all 12 zodiac signs. And I pulled an oracle card for you before we started, and it is 32 in quieting the mind. Okay. And so if you're watching this when this is published, Saturn has recently gone retrograde, and it will be retrograde through November. So about 5 months ish, which is a pretty good chunk of time. And speaking of time, this was mentioned in the quieting the mind description in the oracle deck. And actually I'll read that part. I'll read the keywords and then share the part that I think really speaks to Saturn energy. So quieting the mind, this is from the Oracle of the Seven Energies deck. Key concepts: meditation as a commitment. So commitment is also very Saturnian. So committing to a spiritual path, committing to mental health, committing to meditation in your spiritual practices. Also the need for silence, peace within despite chaotic outer conditions, letting go of the monkey mind, and mindfulness. Now, the part of the description that really, when I was reading it, spoke of Saturnian energy is that in spite of the surrounding din of the world today, you need to slow down and find a bit of peace. So go ahead, take a deep breath right now, make a commitment to be still, if only for 5 minutes. Count your breaths and be mindful of every one of them. Know that you have all the time in the world to do the things that need doing. Everything is perfect as it is. So really with Saturn, that emphasis on commitment and that emphasis on adjusting or shifting our perception of time. Saturn rules time. Saturn rules discipline and dedication. Saturn, definitely being the ruler of time, often asks us or shows us how to negotiate time, how to navigate time, how to be on time, how to leverage time. And I really feel like for the collective that's listening to this, there might be a lot of time pressure. Based on this oracle card, there might be a lot of pressure to feel like you're running out of time, or you might feel like you're late, or that you're not on time, or that you need more time, or that you don't have enough time, or even feeling like you've wasted your time. Okay. And so with this quieting the mind card and speaking to that idea of readjusting our relationship to time, readjusting our perception to time, because when a planet goes retrograde, that is an opportunity to go within. There's an opportunity to reflect, to revise, to reconsider, to really take some space. And Saturn being what they call the taskmaster, as they say, that hard work, that dedication, this might also be a time for some of us to go on vacation and to say, I feel like I have to work 20-hour days, 8 days a week. But maybe I really don't have to do that. Maybe I don't have to burn myself out because I believe that I'm running out of time, right? And so creating time, making time, opening up space in our schedule for a break, for naps, for vacation, right? And to pay attention to our spiritual work. So whatever area of this life, again, you want to look at where Saturn is going retrograde in your chart. If you're watching it at the time of this reading, it's in Pisces. So look where Pisces is in your chart. But even if you come to this video at a later date when Saturn is in Aries or in Taurus or something, just look at where that is in your chart to see what area of your life you might be asked to slow down. To slow down and not feel like you have to be in this flurry of chaotic work or stressful work, or try, hustle, do. Because as much as Saturn gets the reputation of being the taskmaster, it also asks for patience. Yeah, that felt like it really needed to be said. That's really going to resonate for some people. A lot of people say, oh, Saturn is hard work and discipline. Yes, but it's that discipline over time, over stretches of time. Saturn is the most patient planet we have. Even though it's not the slowest moving planet, I think Saturn is the most patient planet that we have. And so maybe there's been an area of your life where you have been trying to rush things, or again, just feeling like you have to stay on the treadmill in order to keep up. And so this Saturn retrograde is going to hopefully show you things and opportunities in your life to reconsider that, right? Now let's go ahead and pull some tarot on this. I actually feel like the wild unknown. Use the wild unknown to clarify this for the collective Saturn retrograde energy. Themes and guidance for our collective Saturn retrograde energy. Themes and guidance for our collective Saturn retrograde energy. And one more. All right. What would you like to tell us about quieting the mind for collective Saturn retrograde energy? Okay. So we have the Five of Cups. What I get is that some of us in our minds, what we've been ruminating on is loss, a sense of guilt, a sort of wishing things could be different, wishing things had turned out differently. Just a lot of ruminating on what did not go our way, the disappointments, right? And with this energy of time and space, a lot of it might pertain to loss that we associate with time. So I didn't get the job because I didn't get the application in on time, or I ran out of time to ask this person out on a date before they got married. Yeah, and so we might have even a regret about how we've spent our time. Again, that sense of feeling like we've wasted our time and just really feeling the guilt and the weight of that. Like, oh, I just wasted my time. I wasted those years, et cetera, et cetera. And that's a narrative, a story that we can reconsider and reprogram during the Saturn retrograde and realize that time is not a stagnant linear thing, and that anything that we quote unquote lost is an opportunity for realignment, right? Let's get additional cards here. What else can you tell us about this quieting the mind message for Saturn retrograde? Eight of Pentacles. So this is very Saturnian in the fact that it's about work. You know, Saturn is about work. It's about career work, but also the work that we do to maintain our homes, the work that we do to maintain our marriages, the work that we do on ourselves, our physical health, right? It's just the work. And in this deck, the depiction of the Eight of Pentacles as a spider web in particular, what's coming through with this card is that we have to look at the bigger picture, right? And so we might be so caught up in the weeds with this quieting the mind energy. We might be so caught up in the weeds of thinking like, oh, this one small, minute detail is all that there is to this scenario, situation, to this life. But reminding us that no, like it's a grand puzzle. It's a grand network of moving parts. It's a grand symphony, right? It's an entire web of things that are playing out. And that includes time, playing out over time. So something that, a little pin drop, I'm thinking about the butterfly effect, even like something from 5 years ago could come back and resurface and be different or transformed 15 years later, or like in the present. And in the present, we are weaving and making choices and choosing paths that could have ripple effects, right? Ripple effects on the water for years to come into the future. And so we want to get still, we want to get quiet. Even now, I'm getting a lot of intuitive things coming through on this card. It feels really good, actually. The stillness of a spider as it waits for the fruits or the results of its work. So you weave the web, the spider weaves the web, and then it gets still and it waits. Ooh, I got chills. I got goosebumps on that one. So some of us collectively have been weaving these webs. We've done the work. We've been diligent in making the connections, putting things in place. And with the Saturn retrograde and quieting the mind, It's time to rest, to be still, and let the web that we've built do the work, right? Let the work that we've done carry out, right? Like, let it run its course, let it do its thing. We can take our hands. It's like you build the machine to operate and function. You don't keep manually driving it, right? You let it function. You turn it on and you let it run. It's almost like we built this program, we built these algorithms, and instead of just letting them run and do what they're meant to do and produce the results and the outcomes that they're meant to produce, we keep trying to interfere. We keep trying to rush the process. We keep trying to speed things up or trying to optimize. So Saturn retrograde is asking us to say, like, okay, you know, we worked really hard and we worked really well to build this amazing web. And if we trust that work, eventually the reward will come. The web will do what it's meant to do. It will catch the reward. We do have the 9 of Cups beneath that. We have the 10 of Pentacles beneath that. And the Ace of Swords underneath that. Oh, Son of Pentacles. Okay, so Son of Pentacles being that time, that hard, diligent work. The Knight of Pentacles is very Saturnian. It's going to persist, persevere, be thorough, methodical, patient, and persistent. So a lot of us have already done that with this 8 of Pentacles. And maybe we have some regret and some guilt that things didn't happen on our timeline, that things didn't happen sooner, or that we feel like they didn't happen at all. But remember, if you're still alive, it's still possible that things can happen, right? Ace of Swords, that is the stilling of the mind, the quieting of the mind, maybe to get answers, maybe to develop and sit with new strategy, new results, new communication, right? Once Saturn goes direct again. But yeah, this is less so of a quiet mind and more so a still mind. A still mind can receive lots of messages, but they come in with clarity, right? When the mind is still versus being chaotic. And then the 10 of Pentacles, of course, also very Saturnian in terms of long-term wealth, stability, the results of that hard work, right? But also knowing that you need to maintain that and nurture that. But this is almost like the 8 to the 10, having that, being very close to the fruition of all of this hard work. And then the 9 of Cups being that peace and happiness, and there's a wish there. And the 5 to the 9, it's like you could be, without, focusing on the negative, the need to quiet the mind, because you'll realize that there actually is more to be happy about than you might be giving yourself credit for. All right, collective, that is what I have for you in terms of themes and intuitive guidance for Saturn retrograde. Let me know in the comments if it resonates. Also, check out the weekly element readings and the new moon in Cancer reading that I did last week. I think this video is being published on the new moon in Cancer. And so you can definitely check out that video right after this one. And I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.